Within the last 15 minutes, the military panel in the Fort Hood massacre trial returned to court to ask two questions.
Those military members have been deliberating the fate of Major Nidal Hasan all afternoon. First on Fox 4 News, Calvert Collins joins us from Fort Hood. Calvert, what were the questions, and could we get a verdict tonight?
Well, let me answer the latter part of that first. There will not be a verdict tonight. The court has officially recessed for the day. We'll pick up tomorrow morning. I can only tell you what one of those questions was because I hadn't finished by the time we came out here. The first one was that the jury panel wanted to hear the testimony, which was written testimony, of Officer Mark Todd. Now, that was the Fort Hood police officer who shot Major Hasan on November 5th, 2009, essentially ending the massacre after about 15 minutes. And Mark Todd's testimony was written. He has a medical condition that did not allow him to speak in court on the stand, but his testimony was read orally to the panel on Tuesday. I have a couple excerpts of his testimony. He said when he first saw Hasan on a hill, he said he saw Hasan with a weapon, told him to drop the weapon, and then he saw a flash come across his eyes, and he thought, okay. Then he clearly was going to be engaged in some type of gunfight. He did track Hasan down, fired 5 shots, several of them hitting Hasan in the back, leaving him paralyzed, and thus he was able to kick Hasan's gun away and handcuff him. So he was really one of the two heroes of the Fort Hood shooting on November 5th, 2009. His other officer in Kimberly Munley was shot by Hasan, and then Officer Todd ran over to him. So that testimony, written testimony, is being read to the jury panel, or was just finished. So a verdict again possibly tomorrow, but the jury has to consider all 45 different charges. We're talking premeditated murder, 13 counts of premeditated murder, and then 32 counts of attempted premeditated murder that they have to vote on individually. And Judge Osborne had instructed them they cannot hold the fact that Major Hasan did not testify on his own behalf, can't hold that against him, and they have to unanimously vote to convict on the charge of premeditated murder, at least on one count, for him to be eligible for the death penalty. Otherwise, he's looking at life in prison. So if there is a verdict tomorrow, Clarice and Richard, then likely sentencing will either begin in the afternoon, if the verdict comes in the morning, or on Monday.